Most High in Christ, man. Most High in Christ. Hard for that, man. Hard for that. You know what I mean? That for all time, all the goddamn oppression they've been doing to black people, that's righteous, man. Like I seen the I seen is a video or picture of it with what is it? I think it's the creek.
Mosquito Creek.
Yeah, Mosquito Creek looking like the beach arc.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mosquito Creek looking like the beach arc.
Right. So it's like some people were saying, why the Indians don't leave there? But I know they won't leave it because that land is collateral. That is a collateral, the land. You know, so
that one more time?
People were saying why they don't leave the area, the East Indians now. But I know that they won't leave because the land is their collateral.
Right. So that's what you're saying. For all the loan and all or everything they done took.
Right.
That's the you know what I mean? I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad. I really did not know it was that bad.
Yeah.
Like, I heard about it. I seen the pictures. I heard of the excessive flooding and everything like that. But I didn't know it was that severe. Like that is severe flooding. I ain't never seen nothing like that ever before. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't really remember ever seeing something like that ever before in Trinidad, to tell you the truth.
And Saka, that's just rain. That is not a storm. That is just rain.
That's just regular rain.
Just rain, yeah.
Wow. So then, okay, it's what causing it? Is it the dredging of the land or
poor drainage, some I mean, how to say that, racism all over, racism in parliament and all.
Right.
So an Israelite woman was saying that people, the East Indian, she didn't say East Indian, but she said these people cannot build their house in a lagoon and expected not to flood.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it's them type of backfill type of land that they stole. Damn near all of them, they done stole it.
Right. So I mean, so the East Indian take that as a disgrace and start to, talk about racism and all stuff, I think. But I mean,
well, the water ain't racist. The rain that, so what are you trying to say? The rain that falling racist? Is the rain that falling racist? That's what I want to know. If it's the rain that racist, then you have a problem. But like, how did they say with us? Like when they see all the murdering going on, they say that they ain't had nothing to do with it. Like we can't blame them, but you can't blame us for all this rain. And all the rain that's falling, like y'all can't blame the rain ain't racist. The rain fall. The scriptures say the rain and the sun fall on the good as well as the wicked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what is their what they're talking about? You know what I mean? Right? I don't know.
These days, like these days, I'll be asking a lot of questions about the Bible. Yeah.
Like questions on what? On stuff from Christianity?
Right, yeah, resurrection, how the Most High love one nation.
I mean, she probably listening a whole lot to the classes now. She probably either going back and watching the classes or, you know, listening to the classes live and picking up, you know, watching videos, you know what I mean? For them questions and stuff she's picking up. And she coming to, you know, she coming to breakdown because of course, you know, learning in the Christian church, she ain't gonna know the truth. So she coming to you for the truth, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's good though. That's a good sign, you know what I mean? That's a good sign that she asking now for explain this, explain that. That's for sure right, you know what I mean? That's for sure right. Like Eve is like that all the way. You know, just remember that you have to maintain her just like a, you know, like a child, you know what I mean? No disrespect to the sisters, but she's a grown kid that needs, you know, a ton of cuddling, ton of love, a ton of hugging, and ton of correction.
Right.
You get the point? She needs that because that's who she is. That's her person. That's how the Lord made her. But because of the white man, he doesn't have Eve taking on a certain spirit that's against her nature. You get the point?
Right.
Eve taking on a certain spirit that's against her nature. So after a while, she gonna flip out. It's like you ever see them lions in a circus?
Lion in a circus. I mean, in a while I never been.
Yeah, it's lucky. I forget. It's true.
Yeah.
You want me saying, boy, this man's a Yankee here. All right, the lion in a circus, lion in a zoo. I know we ain't had too much of that in Trinidad, but I mean, Trinidad had lions. I think they're all dead in the zoo now. I ain't too sure. But okay, that's not natural for an animal like that. You get the point? To be, you know, housed and caged and then, you know, thrown some meat. That's not natural. And I'm sure you've seen videos where these animals flip out after a while. Elephants just do it all the damn time. Them elephants that them East Indians be having and, you know, putting in the religious, in the temples. Them elephants flip into hell out and stomp everybody before they put about 120,000 bullets in them to kill them. You know what I mean? Them animals, they're not to be put into that type of environment because that's not their nature. And it's the same thing with a sister. Like the way the spirit the white man puts in black woman, it's a masculine spirit. And they're not made to be men. You know what I mean? And that's why they be cooking out like that and acting all ridiculous because that's against their nature. Their nature is to be loving, like, you know, loving and caring and nurturing and, you know, soft and, you know, something, you know, attractive to a man, not the other way around. So now what happens is as you come in the truth, as strong as you came in, she showed that she was a right sister because she could have left. And if she left, that would have meant she really wasn't with you. But she was with you because now she done double back on how she was acting. And now switch it up to where she asking questions now because she got her husband. You know, she got a man now. Because now you starting to learn the way of the Lord and you standing up and correcting her and checking her and teaching her. Now the real Eve is that spirit in her is being stirred up. You understand? That spirit in her is being driven up and stirred up and put in place. So she gonna start doing more things like that now, and you know, more wifely things, more sisterly things. You get the point? Half of the reason a sister be damn near masculine is because Esau done destroy us as men. And Eve need to feel safe. Eve need to feel protected. You get the point? Eve need to feel a certain way. Like a sister would walk through a horrible neighborhood where they could get, you know, robbed, murdered, whatever, if she's with a certain brother. Now, they both could get robbed and murdered, but if she knows if she's with him, she could get protected, she'll walk anyway. You get the point? But if she's by herself, now she has to become the protector. You get the point? And that's what the white man did to our whole society. He took the men away from the families and put that spirit in Eve that she could do it when she can't. He made her feel she could do it and she can't do it. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing that that's happening now. That's real good and strong. and she should look all the way in and see what's going on down there in Trinidad. Like the Lord, Lord visiting this place, bro. Lord, because I seen the flooding. The flooding is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen no shit like that before. I seen flooding before, but not like that. You know what I mean?
Because like if somewhere else get flooded out, it doesn't be to that high or that damaging.
Nah, it don't be like that. I've never seen something like that. Like this, I mean, you could damn near drive a boat through the thing. You would think it's a hurricane.
Right.
You know what I mean? You would think it's a damn hurricane. So ain't no sweat. You know what I mean? Let's get the if you had any questions, let me know. But if not, let's get 2 Kings chapter 17. All right. 2 Kings chapter 17. If anybody else have any questions, you all could type it in on the Hangouts. Just let me know. We could open up the Hangouts for you. And if not, we just move on with 2 Kings. Now, this is the history on the split in the kingdom. All right. This is the history on the split in the kingdom. With Solomon's son lost the kingdom. Like the Lord punished the sons of the kings for the transgression of the kings. Right? Like when David said against the Lord, when he took and killed him for Bathsheba. Not Bathsheba, what's her name? I think that's her name. Right? The wife of Uriel. The Lord told David he would punish Solomon for it, right? No, he took Absalom for it. He took Absalom. I think him losing Absalom was the punishment for that. All right? Absalom was put to death by Joab. David asked Joab to bring Absalom back. The scriptures say, know them that labor among you. Joab is Max from Shutters. Joab is, he there for one thing and one thing only. Joab did not bring him back. Joab caught him and put a knife under his 5th rib, and that was that. He brought his body back, but he didn't bring him back, right? Then Solomon sinned against the Lord, taking the wives of heathens and, of course, raising up temples to their gods. The Lord said he was going to take the kingdom from Solomon's son. You understand? So now what we're going to read about here is the Lord, where the Lord separated the 2 kingdoms, separated the 1 kingdom into 2, separated the 12 tribes into two nations of mixed up of different tribes. All right. This is the history on where the Gentiles came from. All right. Just to be clear.
Okay.
Right. This is the history on where the Gentiles came from. All right.
So like chapter 17 verse
1. You can start at 1.
Verse 1. All right.
We had the time.
All right. In the 12th year of Azaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria. Shalmaneser, king of Assyria. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy with Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria,
right? So,
as he
go ahead.
As he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
All right. So what does it say in there?
It's saying Hoshea didn't bring presents to the king of Assyria,
Mhm.
but he had brought present to the king of Egypt. And, let's see, it's like,
Mhm.
and,
He brought presents to the king of Egypt, trying to gain favor with the king of Egypt, and
right,
he didn't, and he wasn't trying to show favor to Shalmaneser. So Shalmaneser like bound him up, fell on him, right, because of it. Because he's like, listen, this you're a traitor. You get the point?
right.
Right? So that's
So like one of the tribes, which is Judah,
mhm.
um, he 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 wanted favor with the king of Egypt, the
Mhm.
heathens, but not to his brother in the king of Assyria or the
No,
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 no, no.
not even. It had nothing to do with his brother. It's just is he
Right,
imagine two heathen kings, and
right,
one, just one mad over the other.
right. Right. Assyria, right,
Right? Go ahead.
right. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
Right?
In
So, so no, Samaria is where?
um Babylon. Uh,
Mm-mm. You thinking of Sumerian?
at, right. Samaria is in Assyria.
Mm-mm. Samaria is in Israel. Is Samaria was the capital of the northern kingdom.
Right.
All right.
Samaria is right.
Yeah, Jerusalem is the capital of all Israel, but of course Jerusalem is in the southern kingdom, is in the land of Judah. You understand?
Right.
So this same king, he went up and took the northern kingdom.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Haba by the river of Gozan in the cities of the Medes.
Right. So in the rulership of Hoshea, this is what happened. Right. He went up there, he took Samaria, carried them away captive. Right. Go ahead.
For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, them up out of the land of Egypt
Mm-hmm.
from under the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and had feared other gods,
Right.
right?
Read the
And
last part
walk,
again.
right? From under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods,
Mm-hmm. So he feared
right?
other gods. You understand?
Right.
So you see
Right.
where it starts there now, the idolatry.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
And walked in the statutes of heathen,
Right.
whom the whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel and of the kings of Israel which they had made.
Right. So he start following after the customs of the heathen, who the Lord cast them out before. Right. They were in the land before. The Lord cast them out. Everything they made, he told us, get rid of all of that and go in and take the land. But we start following after their culture and their customs. All right. Go ahead.
Right. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right in the sight of their God,
Mm-hmm.
and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Um, so like the watchmen will be the people who watching to see if, for like for like military then. They're watching to see if any.
Yeah. From from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city is like is like them saying from the east coast to the west coast, or from the north to the south, meaning the extremities. The tower of the watchman is is up, is going to be high up, and then you have the border. You get the point?
Right.
The tower of the watchman is high at some point, a little bit off of the city. You have watchmen who on the city wall. You have watchmen who closer to the border, who watching for something coming on all sides, right?
Right.
And they're saying those high places in between all over the place, right? What's those high places?
Like high buildings, high towers. You know?
Not so much. Not so much like that. Different. Keep reading next verse, you'll get it.
Right. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. Right?
So what is it talking about?
So they're talking about like a mountain and somewhere higher, hilly. You know, that high where they could see, like a mountain top. You know.
Okay, you might need to know a little history about it. Ain't no sweat. All right. Is a bit different. You ever seen scriptures where they talk about on every mountain, and there were great mountains, high places. That's Bible talk for powerful establishments. You understand?
Right.
That's Bible talk for powerful establishments, because it's the culture of people to put their okay, like their heads of state, they where their governing body is always on a high place, right? Like a big mountain. You get the point?
Right.
Like so like in Trinidad, the parliament would be a high place.
Right.
You get the point? The parliament would be a high place. That's why in Greece had the Pantheon, where they had which was their senate, and everything was there. There, all the gods was there, and it was on a hill called, I think, Mars Hill. That was the name of it, Mars Hill. Because it's the same thing like Capitol Hill. They put their governing bodies on a high place, right? So in the Bible, when you say they built high places all over, it means they built these establishments that were given respect. But the places they built wasn't governments, but what? What did they build based on what you just read?
Images, images and groves.
So what are the images and groves?
Like idols, like they go build an image of someone and worship it. The groves, like might be an image of a goat, or yeah, have an image of an animal or a person.
So what are those images? Okay, what are those high places? If you had to explain it today, and describe it today, high places.
A high place today would be Parliament.
No. But remember, we just said
What?
they're not governments. The places they built was not governments.
Right. So um, a bank, no. A bank,
Read verse 8.
and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. Right?
what is the places they would have built? If it is they followed after the heathens, what is the places that they would have built?
Well, I want to say strip club.
No, no, God damn. Down in mind, God damn. They built temples to worship the heathen gods. And what is called them East Indian temples? Just temples, right?
Yeah, temple.
Temples, they built mosques, masjids, churches to idol gods. Understand? That's what they built, right?
To worship them,
Right?
right?
To worship them. That's it, to worship them. So read verse 9 again.
Verse 9, and the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. Right?
All right.
And
go ahead.
And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree.
Right? The images is images of what?
Christ.
No. This is Second Kings. Christ ain't nowhere near there.
Or in of the kings.
Okay.
Who they worship, or the heathen. Yeah.
You had to follow the train. They worship the heathen. They started following the heathen gods, following the culture of the heathen. They went and built churches to the heathens, right? And to the heathen gods. And they set up images. What are the images of?
The heathen gods.
Thank you. Yeah, focus now. You gotta be with it. All right? They went and put images of the heathen gods in there. They built a mosque and put a carved stone in there. They built a church and put a picture of Caesar Borgia in there. I'm giving you it in terms of how it is today. You get the point? They built buildings, and then they put Baal in there. You know what I mean? All right. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm still like on every green tree, meaning what? Some of that is good, some of that.
Read after images.
Images and groves.
Read verse 10 again from the top.
Right. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree.
All right. They set up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. Right? So now, in the high hills where they have all the temples, they set up images and groves under every green tree. Picture it.
So under every green tree, meaning something that is a low state in terms of a.
Just this is a picture now. You have the church, or you have the mosque, or the fake temple. You have the images in there, and then they put groves under every green tree. Then they put
Right. So
groves under every green tree.
right. So Salakia, this is literal, a green tree, literal green tree.
Right. Think about any churchyard that you see, that you've seen before.
Right. Right.
What's in the
Let's
churchyard?
put. Right. Let us have images of yes of yes. Let us have images outside the church, like right outside.
They have little, and where do
Right.
those images be?
Right. Yeah, it would be like in yard where it have yes.
Yeah, they just have them standing out there.
Yeah, in yard where the yes.
All right.
Just had them in temples too, with the big mother Lakshmi outside the
But where
temple and
does it be outside? It doesn't just be outside, it's be somewhere. And I'm glad you bring that up because, okay, the East Indians do it too. The East Indians will have a house, and outside the house, they will build a shrine with the East Indian god in there and put flowers around it and flags and decorate it around. And every morning, they'll come out with milk and give it to the statue. Every morning. They have to give it to the statue and put it there and put food there and light candles around. That's a grove is like a garden. You understand? It's like a big garden that people go and have picnics in and they go there for downtime. But the purpose of that grove is to worship this God. You understand?
can
It's to worship that particular God. It's to worship him. You ever see just think about any garden or any kind of park where they trim the trees and the flowers is around. What they have? They have the Queen's Park Savannah.
yeah, Queen's
Think
Park.
right. You see like how big the Queen's Park Savannah is with but it's well kept. Or what? Or a certain type of gardens. I'm trying to think about a place in Trinidad I could call that you could remember. I can't remember nothing besides the savannah. But I know there's certain types of gardens that okay. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Just think of a huge garden. Don't think like garden in your backyard. Think like acres of a place that's well manicured and kept, and flowers and stuff growing, and the trees, and they paint the stones and the walkways. Like you think that's just you would think that's for beauty. They put that there for to beautify the place. That's there in tribute to that God. You understand?
Right.
That's there in tribute to that God, to that whatever God it is they worship. That garden is there for that. In DC, it's all over the place. You have they call it the National Mall, right? The National Mall is that type of place, right? Let's see if I could pull some pictures for you so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, the National Mall in DC is just like that. Okay, you see, like in Trinidad, when you go around the savannah, there's different statues of different people.
Right.
It's like that.
Uh-huh.
It's that. Those statues are there. What do you think those statues are for?
For remembrance of the person.
Them statues is there to worship, brother.
Right.
Them statues is there to worship. Them statues is there to worship. It's idolatry. You understand?
Right.
Hold on. You have your apocrypha there too?
Can. Yeah,
All right, no sweat. Whole Wisdom of Solomon 13. Okay. Whole Wisdom of Solomon 13.
Right.
All right. So this is images of the National Mall here. All right. They call it the National Mall. All right. This is Capitol Hill. This is the I think the Lincoln Memorial over here. This is the Washington Monument. And you see all this here is just green grass, just green, like a garden, like a park. And people play sports there in that little area. People, you go out there on a Sunday in DC and it's, you know, white boys playing frisbee. You know, they play frisbee like how they play American football, how they throw the ball.
Right.
But they play with a goddamn frisbee. I mean, I'm talking they tackling each other and shit with a frisbee. And people out there walking the dogs. And this is a high hill. This is Capitol Hill down here. This is the government down here. You understand? Of course, Abraham Lincoln Memorial is over here. And I'm gonna get closer into it on another image where you'll see there's a they call it a reflecting pool. Look at this one here. You see it? See this whole pool of water?
Right.
And you see how it's well manicured and kept with the trees. Nice roundabout. There's a memorial in here. And all over, in this section of DC, all over is different memorials. This tall one is the Washington Monument. I believe there's Lincoln Memorial over here. I think this one over here with the dome is Jefferson Memorial. I never went on the tours, but I drive around DC enough to know, you know, to be able to know where they are. And as you see, Washington Monuments, Washington Memorials. Let's hold on. All right, look, even look at the one they did for Martin Luther King, right? Like all around is trees, and it's, if you could see an aerial view, right? Let's try that. You seeing it here?
Right.
This is Martin Luther King Memorial. This is a statue they made of him. And they act like, okay, this is the entrance, but it's like a stone. And they're trying to say they cut a piece of the stone out. Like he moved a stone that was blocking a passage for people, almost like. You get the point?
Yeah.
And if you look around, gardens and groves and trees, and it's well kept, it's nice. And you see this woman sitting here in pink? People travel from all over America to come to watch these memorials and all over the world. In any day, in any Sunday in DC, you could meet people from Germany, Sweden, Australia, just, you know, touring the place to look at the monuments. But it's worship to these people. You understand? It's worship. It's not in memory of. You understand? It's worship. You get the point?
Right.
Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13.
Verse 1? Okay.
Not verse 1. You skip down a little bit just for time's sake. I'll tell you where. Hold on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. Start at verse 12.
Verse 12. And after spending the
No, 14. Go to chapter 14.
Oh, chapter 14, verse 12. Right. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them The corruption of life.
Right? The devising of idols. The minute we did this, there was spiritual fornication. Spiritual fornication. Not maybe like it was a week after they opened this memorial, the Lord rocked DC with a historical earthquake and crumbled cathedrals, historic cathedrals. The Washington Monument was closed for a year because it had a huge crack in it. Nobody could have go near it. You understand? Like the Lord gets angry when we start worshiping these idols. And it's the same thing we're reading about in 2 Kings, where we make these idols and set up groves in the high places, and we start worshiping this thing. You understand? People come down here and cry and watch the statue and have picnics watching this goddamn statue of Martin Luther King. And it's the devising of idols. You get the point? Going. Right? And Slakian, it's spiritual fornication. Why? Because fornication originally, or adultery, fornication, adultery, the Lord used that example originally to talk about how we would go against him. You understand? To talk about how we serve other gods and not him. And then they say the invention of them. Read the last line.
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
The invention of them is the corruption of life. Like, you want to know why our life is so much hell, why brothers and sisters dying all over the place. I watched that video with that brother who got shot in Cocorit in Trinidad right there. Right? He laying out on his stomach, his homie yelling, screaming, bawling on the top of his lungs. He's still breathing. He's still breathing. Meaning, open up your cars. Forget F the blood. Open your car. He's still breathing. We could save his life. You understand? Right. The inventing of these idols is the beginning of corruption of life. You understand? Like, it's because we worship all these fake gods and fake religions. That's why our life is so corrupted. That's why our life is so brittle and useless and can't stand up to anything. It's because we worship false religions and false gods. You got the point? Keep going.
For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the...
They were not in the beginning and they will not be forever. Why is the Lord saying it like that? That they were not in the beginning and they will not be forever. Why is he saying it like in that manner?
Well, he was saying that there was not here in the beginning, and because there was not here in the beginning, he will make sure they won't be here forever. He will destroy them. In other words, he's trying to say.
Okay, that's true. But why is he saying it like that? They were not here in the beginning and they will not be here forever.
He's saying like that to tell us that we're doing something wrong, that we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, but he ain't bringing it all the way home. Bring it home. Let me see if anybody else type anything in. Not yet. Not yet. You bring it all the way home. In the beginning, where is the beginning?
In the days with Adam.
Who was in the beginning?
When the Lord created everyone in the beginning.
Okay, but
everybody was there in the beginning.
No. Go to Genesis 1:1. Hold that where you're at right there. Still hold 2 Kings. Go to Genesis 1:1. Genesis means the beginning. That's what Genesis means. The beginning. Right? So let's go to the beginning, since the Lord is saying they were not there in the beginning.
Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And
the earth. Hold on. No, you can't skip over that. Read it again.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
In the beginning, who did?
God created the heaven and the earth.
So who was in the beginning?
The Most High.
Does it say anybody else?
No, just
God was in the
any
beginning.
person, no.
He was in the beginning. So the Lord, and who is going to be here forever?
The Most High.
So now go back to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 13 and read it.
For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
So what is the Lord saying about the idols?
The Lord is saying about the idols that they not him. He will be here forever, and he was here in the beginning.
He's saying these idols ain't got shit on me.
Right.
It wasn't here in the beginning when I was here. Just think how niggas talk. Where were you? And Drake had a song like that. Where were you? Right? It's like they wasn't there in the beginning, and they ain't gonna be here forever. You understand?
Right.
That's what he's saying. It's like he's letting you know that they're nothing. You understand? They are nothing. I'm looking for the scripture where he says, there is no God with me. All right, keep going.
Wisdom of Solomon, right?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Verse 14, for by the vein they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
Right? How did these idols get here?
By men. Men created them by the men who glorify them. Right.
You have to use the script, use the words the scripture just say. That's the only how you're gonna teach it. Because if you say anything else, somebody would say you're adding to the Bible, you're twisting the scriptures. The Bible just said, by the vain glory of men. How did the Martin Luther King statue get there?
Right.
How did it get there?
It got there by the vain glory of men.
That's it. He had vain glory. Old Martin Luther King, he had a dream, and it was for nothing. That's what vain is. Vain glory. You get the point? Vain glory. All in Trinidad. You know what's a good example of them groves? Woodford Square. You see how Woodford Square is a park in the middle of the city?
Right.
Benches and trees and the statues is there. That's a grove. A grove of worship. You understand? To go there. Who is Woodford? I don't even know. I look that up to see why these men get the honor that they got. You understand? The vain glory of men is how these statues get there. Them East Indian statues that they have outside the house is vain glory. Right? Keep going.
Right. And therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
Right? They're going to come to an end. Keep going.
For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a God, which was...
Read that again. Read that again.
Now honored him as a God.
No, read it again, meaning from the top.
From the top, come on. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child soon taken away.
Right? When a father who lost his son and he is in mourning, he made an image of his child soon taken away. Go ahead.
Now honor him as a god.
Right? Now he honors that child as a god. You understand?
Right.
Now he honors that child as a god. And that's how Martin Luther King statue is there. Right? We were like a father who lost a son when Martin Luther King got shot. And we made an image of him, and we now honor Martin Luther King like a god. All right, go ahead.
Which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
Right? Which was then a dead man, but this father, his son was dead, but he delivered to those people who under him, meaning the people who he's over in the city or in the village or wherever. He delivered what to them?
So he delivered unto him that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
Ceremonies and sacrifices. Ceremonies and sacrifices. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. You understand? Sacrifices to this idol god and that idol god, like them East Indians do. Come and put milk and cookies by the damn statue, like the statue could eat. You understand? Put milk and cookies by some blue-eyed, bloody-mouthed bitch named what's the god name? What's the goddess Kali? Right? Goddess Kali, for when they want to kill somebody. They have a goddess Kali who she's the god. Let me look it up. Salaki. I ain't wanna quote it wrong. But you see that word thug? Like how they call us thugs?
Damn.
You know where that word comes from?
Ah.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna post the video too. General Hazayan went into it a few years ago. All right. Hold on. Kali, also known as Kalika, is a Hindu goddess. Kali's earliest appearance is that of the destroyer of evil forces, right? It's a woman who destroys evil forces. Now, according to how the world turns, from what you understand about what women in the world consider evil, who is the evil forces that this Kali is destroying?
Destroying men.
Men. Destroying men. Hold on. Over time, she has been worshipped by devotional movements and tantric sects variously as the divine mother of the universe, Adi Shakti. All right? Kali is often portrayed standing or dancing on her consort. Her consort. You know who's a consort?
Ah.
Somebody who you're having sex with. That's a fancy word for consort. Yeah, I mean that's his consort. He's consorting her. You get the point? Kali is often portrayed standing or dancing on her consort, the Hindu god Shiva, who lies calm and prostrate beneath her. Kali is worshipped by Hindus throughout India. I'm going to guess on it next week. I'm going to Diwali, some of these gods, and there's an East Indian sect of priests called the Aguri who worship these female gods and mutilate themselves because they're saying their rod is evil. Like their urge to have sex with women is evil because this god is female and she's better than them. You understand? It's Christianity all over again. You understand?
Right.
I'm looking for the one with the thug. Hold on. 1 second. And she an ugly bitch too. Good night. All right, let me get some images of her here while I look up the thing with Thug. All right. You see her right here?
Oh, okay.
Right? That is a four-handed bitch. Now they're saying she is always pictured dancing over her consort Shiva, which is this one on the bottom here. But look at it in her hand. Head of another man. Around her neck is the heads of men she done cut off, and a bowl collecting blood that she drinking from. Right? She dancing on Shiva. And this is the head of some, right? And of course, she's, half naked. It looking like it's a man, but it's a woman, an ugly blue bitch. That's the best way I could describe it. Dancing on top of him. Even the white man has a sexual fetish of domination, where he gets some woman who is bigger and taller than him, his neck, and walk him like a dog, and stand on him and give him sexual desire. This is the same thing here. Now, this Shiva, she ain't kill him, but she's standing on top of him and dancing, and he's allowing that to happen. You understand? We get some more images of her. Some more here. After she done kill everybody, kill all the men, she stand on this, homosexual god here. This Shiva is traditionally worshipped by a group of men who are like her assassins, and they are called, this Kali, I mean, they are called thugs. You understand?
Okay.
They are called thugs. Hold on. I think it's thuggy. That's it. Right. Okay, thuggy. Right? Thuggee. Thuggy, Sanskrit. Thugs, an organized gang of professional robbers and murderers. Thugs, now this is all in East India, right? This is all East India. Thugs traveled in groups across Indian subcontinent. Remember we went through that before. The Indian subcontinent is made up of Nepal, Afghanistan, Pakistan. There's one other place I'm forgetting. And some of those islands on the bottom. All right? That's the whole Indian subcontinent. 600 years. Although the thugs origin to 7 Muslim tribes, Hindus appear to have been associated with them at an early period. The earliest authenticated mention of thugs appears in some book, right? They were secret cult members, both Muslims and Hindus, that worshipped Mother Kali, the goddess of destruction. They operated as gangs of highway robbers, tricking and later strangling their victims. Right? Their mode of killing you was to strangle you, then cut your head off. But they worship this goddess Kali. The mention of Hindus and Muslims there, do you know why?
Because all of them is the same race.
That's it. They're all the same people that been conquered and now split into 2 countries, India and Pakistan. You get the point? But this is, of course, before modern India and Pakistan, but it's the same people. It's just different religions, but it's the same people. They go around killing and murdering in the name of Kali. Men who worship this East Indian god, they call them thuggy or thugs. So when they call us thugs, they the real thugs. That's who it starts with. Any East Indian talking about, you know, we the thugs and we did this and we did that. No, we ain't no punks, but we ain't the murderers of the earth. That's them. You understand? That's them. The English word thug traces its roots to this from the Hindi, which means swindler or deceiver. Right? To swindle or to deceive, because he gonna trick you and then kill you. And drink your blood and cut your head off in the name of some damn blue bitch named Cali. You understand?
Right. Oh, God.
Right? So all those are once again, these fake gods that we put up and worship all over the place, not knowing where they come from and what they deal with. All right, let's get back to Wisdom of Solomon quickly before we eat up all the time.
Okay, Wisdom of Solomon, verse 16.
What was the point I was making? They delivered to the ceremonies and sacrifices. So when you see them sacrificing to this East Indian god Kali, know what it is they're talking about. They're talking about a god that allows them to murder and rob people. You understand? And that they're hidden, the male god Shiva, he is all down with it. You get the point? So for these idols, people enforce ceremonies and sacrifices on behalf of these idols. Keep going.
Okay, verse 16. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
You understand? Over the course of time, customs became law. Customs became law. What can you use that for today? What's the big headline in America today about a custom that they're trying to make it like if it's a law? You mightn't get it because of where you are. Go ahead.
Pedophilia?
So there's something else more in the media prevalent. The brothers and sisters over here might get it. Worshipping the flag, saluting the flag, taking a knee. When it's not a law that you have to stand for the American anthem and salute the flag. That's not law. But of course, over the course of time, society it's an unwritten law. You get the point? Like you can't go to jail for not standing, but it's an unwritten law. You get the point? It's an unwritten law. All right, if the brother who typing in Thuggies, you write the consort, Chapman from Hartford, Connecticut. The thug you write, Lover, is the consort. I believe he was answering the question. Good night. And he posted here, Thuggies were a group of assassins responsible for about 2 million deaths. And they were all killed in the name of this East Indian god called Kali. So when they call us thugs, but the original thugs were these. It was a religious sect of heathens that was into murdering and killing and robbing for gain. You understand? Now we setting up all these idols and all these high places of worship in Israel, following the heathens. All right, let's get back to 2 Kings.
And graven images were worshipped by the command.
Yeah, say what verse you have.
Verse 16.
Right.
Let's continue.
Say everything where you are. Where you are.
Right. Come on. Verse 6. Continue from verse 16.
No. We're going back to 2 Kings now. All right. Anytime you're switching books or you're picking back up after a long break, you always want to say the book chapter and the verse you're at, because you could never tell who just started listening, and they ain't gonna know where the hell you reading from. Right? As a practice, you take a long break because whoever is teaching explains something for a long period of time, and they ask you to start back reading. You could go right there and say we're in 2 Kings 17 and verse whatever, or middle of whatever verse, so that people who just join in would know what you're talking about. All right?
Right, come on. Right. 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 11. Right? And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger.
Right? And they did
12.
things that provoked the Lord to get angry with us. Right? They did things to make the Lord get angry. Go ahead.
For they served idols, whereof the Lord had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing.
Right? They serve idols where the Lord said, listen, you're not supposed to do it. All right? You're not supposed to serve idols. All right? Let me Deuteronomy 32 and 29. Right? Read that real quick, dollar one. Deuteronomy 32 and 29.
Deuteronomy 32, 9. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this.
No, Salaki,
that
32 and 39. Salaki,
32 and
39.
Deuteronomy 32 verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me.
You understand?
I kill.
That's why he's saying there's no God with me. That's why he said there was not there in the beginning, and they ain't gonna be here forever. Seeing now that I am me, I am who I am. That's why he said it to Moses. I am who I am. I am that I am. That's not his name, but he's telling you, listen, man, I'm the big nigga over here. I run shit. I am that I am. Right? Go ahead.
Right. I kill. And I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
You understand? Like, there is no God with the Lord. So for us to go worship an idol and think an idol is the one who gonna help us out, the Lord said, listen, nigga, I kill, I make alive, I can wound you, and I can heal you, and then nobody could deliver you out of my hands when I come for you. Not Allah, not Caesar Borgia, not Kali, not Krishna, not Ram, Haile Selassie. Nobody can deliver you from my hands when I'm ready for you. You get the point?
Okay.
Right, go back to 2 Kings now. And pick up where you left off.
Right, 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 13. Yet the Lord testify against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants, the prophets.
Right, so again, while this is going on, the prophets in Israel is speaking, just like how we go out and we speak today. Don't eat pork, don't eat shrimp, don't worship Christianity, get out of Islam, get out of Scientology, forget Rastafarianism. Come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Obey the Most High power. Obey the Most High power. Like, that's what was happening then. You understand? That's why he said he sent his word, he testified against Israel and Judah by all the prophets and the seers, saying, meaning the prophets of the Lord were out there teaching, trying to get Israel back on track. You get the point?
Okay.
Right? Go ahead, keep going.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in the Lord their God.
Right? They know we, and just like with Israel, we don't listen when the prophets speak. Like we are hard-headed people. We always respond to, you know, the blows. We respond to pain. We respond to blows from the Lord. We don't respond to, you know, what is being said. You get the point? Go ahead.
And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them.
Right? That's what we do. We follow vanity and we go after the heathen. You understand? We go after their customs and their statutes, their commandments. You understand? Go ahead.
Concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them.
You understand? That the Lord told us, don't follow after these heathens. It's like, you ever see some parents they have kids and then they go somewhere to school or to a playground or somewhere or a park, or they had them playing on some sports team, and then there's some other kids who, Lord be with them, they ain't coming from the best place. And like that parent would go tell his kids, listen, don't be hanging around them too much. So you're gonna start to do things they're doing, and I don't want you doing that. You get the point? You're gonna start behaving like them, and you my children, you're not going to behave like them. You're gonna do things my way. That's what the Lord is telling us. He's telling us that these heathens is just disgusting, unruly children, and he don't want us doing nothing they doing. Like we better than them. You understand? Like we way better than them. You get the point?
Right.
Go ahead.
And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal.
Right? What happened is the northern kingdom, this is the northern kingdom, separated and made 2 calves and golden images, just like what? Egypt. Remember? Just like in Egypt. Go ahead.
That is when Moses came down and saw all the children they melted their chains and made images.
Right. Exactly like that. Right? But now they do it again to go back to Egypt spiritually. Right? They do it again to go back to Egypt spiritually and started serving idol gods, and the Lord didn't like it. Like what? Like the modern day calf is like that Martin Luther King statue. Like we made the golden calf out of gold, and you know all our jewelry. They spent $150 million on that Martin Luther King statue. $150 million. You know, I mean, think about it. And okay, this is the Slovakia overbid. The memorial cost $110 million to build, and with additional cost of $700,000 and $900,000. Shit, it had to be $150 million. I ain't kidding, right? I'm seeing 120 million. I'm seeing 110 million. I'm giving it 150. You'll take it or leave it. But it's still too much, because guess what? They gave the contract to a Chinese architect and a Chinese designer. That money didn't even go to black people. Like they could have got a black engineering firm or a black, construction company and giving them the money and spread the money around and, you know, make black people build it, even though it was still evil to build it. But at least you get some sort of benefit from it, you know what I mean? But it's like that money ain't even go to us. And they spend money on a statue to make us more slave and then give the money to Moab. You understand? Give the money to Moab. That statue is your modern day calf. It's just as valuable. We put value into it and we ain't doing nothing. And it's to show our allegiance to Egypt once again. You understand? It's to show our allegiance to Egypt. All right, keep going.
And so like Baal is just an idol, right?
Yeah.
And a heathen god.
It's a heathen god. It's, I believe he's a weather god. The initial, the original Baal is a weather god. In Greece, he'd be called Zeus, I believe. Right, but the Baal would be an idol. Right, the children of Baal would be the children of this idol god, meaning that they just worship this idol god, or they don't follow the Lord. Like in Judges 19, when them Benjamites had raped the brother's woman, where they said the children of Baalim, meaning these is evil, wicked niggas. You get the point? It's like that. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use division and enhancement.
They use divination
and enchantments themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger.
Right? Right, that's right. I will he was at first he was a farmer, like how Nimrod ran the earth and grew in power and might. Baal originally was this farmer who was very successful. And don't think farmer like a backyard farm. Think farmer like, you know, acres and acres and acres of, you know, crops, and like he had a whole chain, right? But he was so successful that, you know, the people around, you know, looking at him like he is special. Now, when he died, he became the standard for success. So, of course, heathens people in the world will do that. They will idolize the last successful person. It's no different than Jordan. Michael Jordan was a famous basketball player, right?
Right.
For some people, Michael Jordan is God. What else do they call Jordan? I'm going to help you out for time's sake. They call him His Airness. Like His Majesty. They say His Airness. Meaning like Jordan is elevated up way above and beyond the game. You understand? Like Jordan didn't play basketball in how much years, but his shoes selling more than anybody else. You understand? Like he done reach the status of that, and forget about whenever he dropped dead. You know, it's going to be ridiculous. So Baal is like that, where he's famous agricultural farmer, and after he died, people trying to live up to it started praying to him for, you know, good weather. Started praying to him, Baal, please bring good weather today so my crops could grow. Please bring sun. Please bring rain. Hold the rains back. Bring more sun. Hold the sun back. Bring more rain. And over time, just like it said, over time, custom became law. Baal became God. Right? He's a weather god. And in Greece, he is known as Zeus. Right?
Right.
Right. Keep going from where we left off.
And sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. Right? Verse 18. Right? Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
Right? So now the Lord removed Israel out of his sight. Who is Israel in this instance?
Jerusalem.
No. Who did I just tell you worship? Who did I just tell you made the golden calf?
The
Northern Kingdom. The Northern
Kingdom.
Northern Kingdom. You understand? The Northern Kingdom did this. And he removed them out of Israel. That's when he allowed that Assyrian king to come in and take them captive. You understand?
Right.
He allowed the Assyrian king to come in and take us captive. Keep going.
Verse 19. Also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight.
So now you had Israel, the northern kingdom, messing up first, and then you have the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, starting to mess up after, right?
Yeah.
So now that's how the whole kingdom fell. At first, it was just the northern kingdom, then Judah started going off. That's where the split happened, and we all went into captivity. You get me? You all went into captivity. Go ahead. Sister Laki is going to say something?
Yeah, Judah follow Israel, right?
Okay,
that is why that...
Not follow them in terms of pattern after them, but just went off, just like in any family. In any family, the older, like a brother might, one of the brothers might, act out. The older brother might act out. The younger one stay there, he, rolling. Sooner or later, the younger one start acting up. You understand? Just think of your own family, where you have an older brother or, middle brother or something start acting up. He roll out or he get kicked out. After a while, you start acting up. You understand? I remember doing it. I used to watch my older brothers and them do what the hell they want. I was good boy at the time. As soon as I become of age, I start doing what the hell I want. I start growing them dreads, doing everything else. My older brother say, yeah, you getting away with a lot now because, your father old. He ain't had the strength to do to you what he used to do to us. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's that. That's just what happened. That's just how a family operates. Right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 21. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord and made them sin a great sin.
You understand? Like we started, we all went off. We all went off. Go ahead.
Right. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam which he did. They departed not from them.
All right, go ahead.
Right. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
You get the point? It was carried away from our land into Assyria unto this day. And that's still the truth unto this day. We were carried away, right? Israel, northern kingdom went first, and then the southern kingdom after. All right? Keep going.
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kuchas, and from Eva, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
So now what happened now? After we went into captivity, what happened? What did the Assyrian king do?
Where the children of Israel was, he placed heathen people in their land.
Okay.
Right, am I correct? Yeah.
Exactly. He took heathens and put them in our land, right? Keep going.
Come. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he has sent lions among them. They slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land.
Right.
Right.
So now, what's happening here? The heathens is in the land. That's our land. They don't know how to keep God's statutes and commandments. So the Lord lets, animals come in there and slaughter them. Let the teeth of beasts, wild beasts come in there and just kill them. So the people go into the king and it's like, yo, what the hell going on? The king is like, listen, y'all ain't the people of the land. That's the problem. All right? Keep going.
So could we use this scripture to even show spiritually why there's so much war in the Middle East? Because that's not their land, and or not. I mean,
yeah, there's better ones, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can, but there's better ones. But you could if you could explain it right. Like that's not their land, and the Lord is stirring them up.
Verse 27. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom he brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of God of the land.
So what happened?
So the king of Assyria was saying, take one of the priests from Israel, bring them back to the land to teach the heathens the God of the land, which is
right. Now, why is that important? That story is important. We're talking about Samaria. Why is that story important?
That story is important for the New Testament, where Christ was with the Samaritan woman.
Not the Samaritan woman, because the Samaritan woman was a heathen.
Right.
But it is the New Testament. In fact, okay, it is the Samaritan woman is part of it also. It's two things that make it important. The woman at the well, give me John 4:22. Right, we can stop there. Give me John 4:22. And then give me Luke 10:25, quickly. John
4:22.
4:22. You could start at right. I'm gonna just catch you all up for the time because it's already 8:51. Right. This is the woman he met at the well. He told a woman, give me something to drink. Right? Start at verse 7. Read from verse 7. We'll skip through it quickly.
Verse 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, give me a drink.
Right? Give me to drink. So now this woman of Samaria, remember Samaria is the capital of the northern kingdom. Right? So now the Christians reading this, number one, most of them don't know Samaria is capital of the northern kingdom. But they would, if they do know, if they get a hint later on when she said she too worship in the same mountain, they would think that she's one of Christ's people when she's not, right? Keep going.
For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat.
Right? His disciples wasn't there. They would normally draw him the water. They would dip the bucket down in the well and they would draw water out for him. His disciples wasn't there. He's a man of authority and power. He see this heathen by the well. He's like, listen, draw the water out for me. Right? Go ahead.
Right. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? Right. For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
Right? Why does she know the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans?
Right. Because she know that that we was taken from that land and heathens was put there. Right? So it's like the heathens, where Samaria is where the heathens was now.
The heathens is there, and she knows she's a heathen. That's and she knows he's a Jew, and she know the Jews have no dealings with the heathens who in there. We separate, right? Go ahead. Right. So now Christ answered her, said, "Listen, if you know who it was that asked you for this water, you'd have given it." Right. Skip me down to verse 20. Right. Christ went on to cut her, and he knew she was a hoe. Anyway, like all them heathen women be hoes, right? Always hoeing. He knew she was a hoe. And when he called her on it, she said, listen, I perceive thou art a prophet. Because he said, woman, where art thy husband? She said, I'm not married. He said, indeed, you're not married. You have, she said, I don't have one. He said, yeah, you don't have one. You have 5. And the man who you're with right now ain't even your husband. Meaning, she just having sex with this nigga on the side. She then turned around to say, well, I believe you are a prophet, because how else would he know she's a hoe? You get the point? Now we on to verse 20. Give me verse 20.
Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is a place where men ought to worship. Right?
So she's telling him now. Now remember, first she told him the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Now she come and say, our fathers worship in this mountain. And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. It's like she now trying to tell him she worshiping in the right place. Because they grow up, the scriptures say their fathers have inherited lies. The heathens. She grew up worshiping where? In Samaria. And she learned from a Israelite priest. So they think they're doing the right thing. Just like the Ethiopian, just like the Amalekites, the Jewish man. Who else? Just like the African tribes who think they're Israelites, the Yehudi and the Yehu and whoever else. They're learning from some priest who not supposed to be teaching them, but he teaching them any damn way, and they think they're right. So she challenging Yahweh and telling them, listen, you say we're supposed to worship in Jerusalem, but I'm telling you, our fathers worship in this mountain, in Samaria, right? Go ahead.
God. Yahweh said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
And he's saying, listen, woman, a time gonna come when you ain't gonna be able to worship where you're at now, neither in Jerusalem. Meaning a time gonna come when we gonna kick you all out the land. You understand? Big up to Tazariak. You know, Tazariak went over to Jerusalem, to Israel itself, and he said it stunk of heathens. It stunk of heathens. It's heathens everywhere all over the land, and I'm sure he's had the same sentiment in his mind. A time gonna come when you bastards ain't gonna be able to walk through here. You bastards gonna be somewhere on the earth begging for rice, begging for us to drop rice for you. You understand? So Christ is cutting her and letting her know, listen, a time gonna come where you ain't gonna be able to worship in Jerusalem, neither in Samaria. Right? Go ahead.
Ye worship, ye know not what.
Right? He said, you don't know what the hell you're worshiping. Ye worship, ye know not what. You don't know what the hell you worshiping. Go ahead.
We know what we worship.
Uh-huh.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of who?
The Jews.
Is of who?
The Jews.
It's for everybody.
The Jews.
It's for you know, if they believe.
The Jews.
Salvation is for the Jews. It don't matter what you worship. Like we get this question all the time. Well, what if a heathen really believes? What if this person, we got questions a couple weeks ago, somebody come in class talking about, yeah, this brother married this white woman, and if she really believe. If she really believes, she's gonna be a slave. You understand? And having the salvation is of the Jews. I don't care what you believe. Listen, even the Jews that don't believe, salvation is for them. You get the point? You see how hardcore that is? Even the Israelites who by blood, they Israel by blood, but they don't believe they're Israel. They're going to be in the kingdom. They ain't going to be high up, but they're going to be in the kingdom, and they're going to be better than you heathens who do believe. They're going to be better than you Africans that do believe. Salvation is for the Jews, not for anybody else. You understand?
Right.
Now, that's one important point of why 2 Kings is so important. Give me Luke 10.
Luke chapter 10.
And start at 25.
Verse 25. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempered him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?
Right? So a certain lawyer, meaning, okay, a man who studies the laws of the Bible. Because remember they told you when Christ was 3 and 4 years old, I believe it's 3 and 4, 7, somewhere around there. He was in the temple day and night debating with the scholars and the doctors, meaning the men who were well versed in the laws. So a lawyer or a man who was versed in the law stood up and challenged him and said, well, listen, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? Keep going.
And he said unto him, what is written in the law? How readest thou?
Right? So he questioned him. He's like, listen, what you see written in this book, how you see it, how you understand what's written in here. Go ahead.
And he answering said, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy strength and with all thy mind and thy neighbor as thyself.
Go ahead.
And he said unto him, thou hast answered right. Do this, and thou shalt live.
This do, and thou shalt live, right? This do, and thou shalt live. You get the point? So he's like, listen, you answered right. You know, you're a lawyer, you know the Bible, you know the scriptures, just like, you know, them all highfalutin Christians who come up to the camp and they like to quote this and quote that and quote this and quote that and complain about you ain't using enough scriptures when they don't understand the Bible. You understand? All they understand is to memorize verses and verses and verses, but they don't understand the flow of the Bible. They don't understand the spirit of it, so they can't break it down. You get my point? So now Christ is telling them, listen, you answered right. You have answered right. Do this, and you shall live. Keep going.
But he, willing to justify himself, and said unto Yahushai, and who is thy neighbor?
Right? So listen, that's so spiritual. Read that again.
But he, justify himself, said unto Yahushai, and who is my neighbor?
Right? So now, yeah, love your neighbor as yourself. Do that. What do Christians always come up to the camp and ask?
Well, the neighbor, Slakia, with
Yeah. So who is your neighbor?
well,
God said, my neighbor is white. I live next to a white man. Don't you see that all the time?
right.
They come up and they try to justify themselves. They try to make themselves seem like they're right and they know what they're doing. And this lawyer, he was challenging Yahushua. In other words, he was trying to teach to Yahushua that you should love everybody and not just the brothers, not just Israel. You understand? That's why he challenged him. He said, well, who is your neighbor? You get the point? Keep going.
And Yahushua answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho,
right?
and
So
fell.
now, hold on. So now he going to explain to him who is his neighbor. Christ ain't just going to quote a scripture and give him the scripture. He breaking it down for him, bro. And that's how the UPK does it. We break it down. We use scenarios to help people understand. Christ going to help not just him, but the nation understand. He about to get what they call education and the upliftment of the people. You understand? Keep going. From verse 30.
And Yahushua answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise.
So hold on. So like a certain man, he went to a certain place, and thieves fell upon him and stripped him of his raiment and wounded him, departed, and leaving him half dead. They robbed him. They waited and robbed him. And we was just talking about the thuggy.
Right,
other gods. When you take on the spirit of heathens and other nations, you harm your brothers. When you take on the spirit of heathens and other nations and their gods, you will harm your own brothers. You understand? You will harm them. You get the point? And this brother was harmed and left for dead at the side of the road. Keep going.
And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed.
Read verse 31.
And by chance there came down a certain priest that way. And when he saw him, he passed by on the other side.
Right? And when they came a certain priest, and that priest looked at that brother all beaten up and bloodied at the side of the road. He ain't dressed right because he done took all his good shit. He looking rough. He see him on one side and he cross and go on the other side. And that's what Israelites do. And that's what we do. Keep going. Yo, like that video with the brother who got shot. His homie crying, yo, he's still breathing, he's still breathing. The other brothers taking their time because they don't want no blood in the car. Until the man had to scream and yell, he's still breathing. You understand? For them to come pick him up. That's how we are as people. Keep going.
And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by.
Right? And a Levite came, looked at him, and then he went on the other side. Go ahead.
But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. Saw him, he had compassion on him,
Mm-hmm.
Right? And went to him and bound up his wounds,
Mm-hmm.
pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn and took care of him. Right? And, and on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said unto him, take care of him,
Mm-hmm.
and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee.
Go ahead.
Right? Watch now of these three,
Read it
which
one more
now of
time.
these,
Uh-huh.
right, go on. Which now of these three thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves?
All right. So now Christ give him a scenario and then pose the question back to him. Which one of these you think was a neighbor to the man that fell amongst the thieves? Since you asking, who is thy neighbor? Let me ask you, who is this brother's neighbor? Go ahead.
Oh, come. Verse 37. And he said, he that showed mercy on him.
He that showed what?
That mercy on him.
That showed what?
Mercy on him.
He that showed mercy on him. That mercy is that's brotherhood. That's when to have compassion on your people, to have compassion on your brothers and sisters, to have mercy. When you could do something and then you hold back a little bit, you hold back for the sake of mercy. Because this person, they're on the side of the road. They ain't strong enough. You gotta have mercy and compassion, right? Go ahead.
Then said Yahushua unto him, go and do thou likewise.
Go and do thou likewise. So he telling him, go and have mercy on your own people. Now, Christians read this. First off, what is this parable called in the Christian church?
Never hear that mentioned. What is it
Think
called?
about it. Who is the man who Christ is saying is the brother? Where is he from?
Oh, he's a Samaritan.
All right, he's a Samaritan.
Brother.
What do Christians call this parable? If you know it. You may not know it. Anybody? What do Christians call this parable?
Salakia there. They would use this parable to say that
No,
the neighbor could be any.
not what they say. There's a
Oh,
name that this parable goes by.
oh, no.
Never heard it? You never heard them say the Good Samaritan?
I heard them say the Good Samaritan before. Yeah. Oh, come.
This is what they use to say the Good Samaritan, right? Nowhere in here does it say Good Samaritan. It says a certain Samaritan, right? But they say this is the parable of the Good Samaritan. Why are they saying the Good Samaritan? Why do they call it the parable of the Good Samaritan, even though in the parable the word good and Samaritan doesn't exist together?
But they use the scripture because it's the Samaritan brother who had compassion on him.
Right.
Was the good one out of everybody else.
But why do they say it's the Good Samaritan? What do Christians say? Who do Christians say the Samaritans are?
Well, Christians say the Samaritans are heathens.
Are heathens. But
Right.
this heathen is a
Good heathen.
good heathen. So therefore, not all heathens are.
Bad.
All heathens are bad. Some heathens are good. Some heathens would even save your life. But the other two was Israelites, and they didn't save his life, right?
Right.
That's what Christians say.
Oh,
This Samaritan, he was a man from Samaria. How do we know that? Because the king of Assyria brought back Israelites into Samaria to teach the people how to live. This so-called good Samaritan was also an Israelite, like the Levite before and the priest before. It's just this brother obeyed the law. And Christ was using it to show him that these uppity, well-to-do Negroes, the priest, the Levite, and then this lawyer, they're all in the same category. They know the Bible, but they ain't doing it. And then this brother, he's regular. He a Samaritan. He living in a heathen country. He comes through and he does the law. And Christ is trying to show him, be like the common man. Have brotherly love for your people. Have mercy for your people. You understand? This Samaritan here in this parable is not a heathen. This is a Samaritan who was the implants they put in there to teach the people the laws of the Lord. You understand? From since 2nd King. It says it right there in 2 Kings 17 and 24, where the king of Assyria brought back a priest in there. He brought back priests in there, and I believe those priests were the tribe of Gad, if I'm not mistaken. Because there's a precept talking about God also held a priesthood, right? It wasn't a Levite, it was one of the other tribes. But nevertheless, 2 Kings 17 is good for the woman at the well, John 4 and 22, and this so-called Good Samaritan parable, where the Samaritan, a man from Samaria, is really an Israelite from Samaria who practiced the law, right? Let me get this last scripture, right? Give me Galatians. Salakia, Romans 2 and 14. Give me Romans chapter 2, verse 14. Quickly. Right? Brandon J. Proctor, because they know they are Samaritans, or the other way, they could make us think we are the Samaritans. That's what the Christians do. But they don't understand that, again, they don't understand that this Samaritan in this parable was an Israelite. It was a brother. It wasn't a heathen. It was a brother. Christ was not justifying, well, there's a good heathen and a bad heathen. He was showing them Israelites who didn't follow, who knew the law and did not follow it. And then there's Israelites who ain't come up under the law like you lawyers and doctors and Levites and priests. But there's Israelites who grew up amongst other people who have more brotherhood than you. And that's the truth. Like Commandant GEN.YAHANNA does always say it. You will find more brotherhood in them gangs and in the prisons and all them brothers who run in the streets than you would find in the Christian church. And that's the truth. Yeah, them brothers is doing wrong, they're doing evil, but amongst them, they have more brotherhood than the Christian church. They have more propensity to look out for each other and more capacity to be brotherly to each other than these evil, wicked Christians in them church. You understand? Read the scripture, Galawan, quick.
Romans chapter 2, verse 14. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves.
You understand? The Gentiles, which are without the law, meaning what? Those people who were scattered away into these different lands, Samaria, Galatia, Rome, after some 2 Kings, when they who are without the law, meaning they grew up in a place where there wasn't no Levite priesthood, teaching them the law from small. They grew up without the law, enforcing the law. There's nobody stoning anybody for adultery. There's no law. There's nobody enforcing don't eat pork. But they grew up without the law. Read from without the law.
Which?
Read from without the law.
For Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law.
Right? They do by nature the things contained in the law. So they grew up without the law, but by nature, naturally, they do the things that are in the law. Like this Samaritan here who found the brother at the side of the road. He's a Samaritan. He's an Israelite who grew up in Samaria. And he didn't have the law like the Levite and the priest. And this lawyer here who's questioning Yahushua. But he did naturally. It's natural. It's nature to see your fellow brother suffering and help him out. It's only natural to see your people going through something and lend a hand and stop. And hey, what's going on, brother? You all right? Everything good? You all right? All right, brother. Let's work it out. It's by nature to do that. Like you see it. I mean, before we get so much into the white man system, you would see people broken down on the side of the road. And as Israelites, we would just stop and help people. We would stop and make sure they're all right. See some old woman walking with some groceries, help her out. No, you ain't want to go stop to help nobody because you ain't know if you're going to get robbed. And the person who really in need don't want nobody stop because they don't know if they're going to get robbed. No, we just, we ain't doing the brotherly thing by nature anymore because we don't listen to the white man. But if those who are without the law do the things contained in the law, naturally, go ahead.
These having not the law are the law unto themselves.
Those who have not the law, meaning not a priesthood to enforce the law, they become a law unto themselves. That's why the Samaritan bandaged him up, put oil, cleaned his wound, gave him some wine to help with the pain, put him up on his beast, meaning mount him up on the horse. The brother got on the foot, and he walked him into the town and gave him into an innkeeper and paid for his stay, and then left more money for the keeper to look after the man until he nursed him to health, and made a deal with the brother saying, listen, if it costs more than this, I'll pay you the difference when I return. That's brotherly act. You understand? That's brotherhood. You get the point?
Okay.
Like he was a law unto himself. He enforced the law. He saw his brother in decay, in need, and offered him help. That's in the law. You understand? That's in the law. You get the point?
Okay.
Right? It's important because the history on this Samaritan is in 2 Kings. That's the proof right there. Right? The Gentiles who the scriptures talk about coming into Israel, coming into the kingdom of heaven, is not heathens, but Israelites who were scattered. All right? And now take these precepts to put with it. Just write these down. James 1:1. All right, we ran out of time. I wanted to get all these covered, but you could read through these. If you have more questions, let me know. James 1:1. 1 Peter 1:1. Acts 2:5-8. John 7:33 and 35. Ephesians 2:11-12. Hosea 8:8-10. It's all over the Bible. That one in Hosea, I believe, is a good, strong one too. Let me just check it out.
So like Hosea 8.
Hosea chapter 8:8-10. And I think Isaiah 11:11. Hold on. That's on my memory. I had this one written down. I'm trying to remember that one here now. I think Isaiah 11:11. Where he'll put the remnants from amongst the Gentiles? I think Isaiah 11:11. No quote me on that one. If it's not that one, I'll find it for you for the next class, all right? But you could read those through. And all those are Gentile scriptures. There's a lot more. There's a whole lot more in Galatians and Romans. You're going to get them as you study up and build your precept book, all right?
Okay.
All right. So that's a bit of history on the Gentiles, all right? So next week, I'm going to try to prepare for you more John 7:33 and 33 to 35, I believe. Brother Napatazar I'll asking for it. John 7:33 to 35. All right, John 7:33 to 35. All right. Read them up, put them in your precept book, make sure you understand it. If not, just bring it in class for a breakdown. And you'll get them. But all those are Gentile scriptures. Now, if you're breaking it down to somebody, 2 Kings 17 is a little bit long. So, but I did it for your understanding, so you understand where it come from. So now using that, you're gonna have to scale down the breakdown to prove to someone who the Gentiles really are, primarily using the other scriptures. But of course, you could reference 2 Kings 17. All right.
Okay.
All right. So next week, I'm gonna definitely try to have some more history on Elam, Persian and the Mede, being grafted into the Persian and the Mede Empire. Then, of course, we went over already how Britain then used them up with the Industrial Revolution. Their religions, the Diwali. I know you all just had Diwali in Trinidad. Dias all over the place, curry all over the place. Right, we're going to go into that a little bit. And some of their religious customs, all right? All right, so don't call it there for tonight, all right? We're a little bit over the time. We won't get it in. Don't just keep doing what you're doing, keep fishing, keep pulling them in. I know for sure they're watching because I am getting some messages. But I think it's just, just a little, people are with something new. They like to watch in the cut for a little while and then, then they'll come through. So just keep doing what you're doing and, it'll catch up, all right?
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
If next week the continue with the King James, the beef with the church and the Tudor family, you was trying to get the history.
The beef with mother side of James and King James and the church, why it turned into a Protestant thing. All right, I'm definitely trying to get. I think that there's a brother who working on it right now, putting together a tape. I'm gonna see where he's at with it. If he's close with it, I'm gonna just wait and have him put the whole thing out. All right, because that's going to take up a lot of the class to go into it. Because you're gonna have to get the background where we went through the background with King James, then the whole thing with the Great Schism, the Neri and the Galapi, I believe. That led up after, somewhere around then. So I'm gonna see where he is with it, but we have a tape coming out soon on it. It might be tomorrow in tomorrow's history class, or next Monday in next Monday's history class. So I'm gonna see where he's at with it. All right. The history with King James, and he had some bomb history with King James, where King James was selling devils in slavery. Some bomb history, brother. It's the bomb. All right. So next week, all right. We're going to make sure and catch the classes during the week, Tuesday through Friday. Brotherhood Tuesday, Law Wednesday, Scripture Breakdown Thursday, the Hebrew language class on Friday, and Saturday, of course, is the Sabbath service at noon on I.S.U.P.K. online classes. I.S.U.P.K. online classes. Also, too, don't forget tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the grill live with Commanding General Yohanna. Live with Commanding General Yohanna is going to be, he has another channel. All right, there's another channel. I want to make sure I get the right channel for you all. It's called the Grill Radio Show. All right, I.S.U.P.K. the Grill. Hold on, make sure I get the right channel. Right, I.S.U.P.K. Radio Show the Grill. I.S.U.P.K. Radio Show the Grill. Tomorrow night's show will be on that channel. I'm going to post the link everywhere right here now for y'all. Y'all make sure and go back and subscribe to that channel so you can keep up to date with it. I.S.U.P.K radio show, The Grill. It's going to be live on that channel to come tomorrow. Make sure click the link in the chat box. Posting it now. Click the link in the chat box and subscribe to that channel. So once we go live tomorrow with the General Command Gen.YAHANNA's radio show, you'd be in tune, all right? Or just go and subscribe to I.S.U.P.K radio show, The Grill. I.S.U.P.K radio show, The Grill. All right? All right, Yabashim Shabrakatha. Yabashim Shabrakatha to all the brothers. Yashim Shabashim Yashai to all the sisters. All right, so we'll see you next week. All right? Shalom.
All right. Shalom, yeah.